Every morning at 0600 sharp, I'd raise the flag with the precision of 20 years of reveille. The crisp snap of Old Glory, a ritual that steadied my soul. Clara's roses climbed the trellis I crafted, their morning fragrance blending with the de-whisked granite stones. Each one a tribute to a fallen brother, names carved with care, stories etched to outlast the subdivision itself. At sunset, wind chimes played taps, Marcus' favorite melody, a haunting echo that carried his spirit through the cooling air. This wasn't some suburban lawn decoration. It was sacred ground, a testament to love, loss, and resilience. Now, zoom out to Willowbrook Estates, a sprawling 340-home suburb carved out of Virginia farmland between 1987 and 2003, back when developers chased the American dream with cookie-cutter colonials and ostentatious McMahon-Scions. Lawns were manicured to perfection, mailboxes aligned like soldiers on parade, and HOA fees of $340 a month, half my disability pension, but the privilege of adhering to a 200-page rule book thicker than a Marine field manual, packed with $847 regulations. It was suburbia dialed to 11, where conformity was king and individuality a crime. My daily routine became the neighborhood's quiet heartbeat. Flag up at dawn. Coffee brewing strong enough to rouse Arlington Cemetery. The scent of memorial roses drifting over perfectly edged sidewalks. Neighbors nodded in respect, some even saluted as they passed. But lurking across the street was Cordelia Blackstone, a storm in designer heels. At 44, she was a failed city council candidate turned HOA president. Always dressed as if auditioning for a CNN panel she'd never land. Her white Tesla a status symbol she could barely afford to fuel. Her $2.8 million mansion screamed success to anyone within eyeshot. But behind the facade lay desperation, an $18,000 monthly mortgage on a real estate portfolio crouching faster than her political dreams. Foreclosure notices stacking up like a house of cards. She needed victories, big visible ones, to prove she could manage the community and prop up property values. My garden, with its raw emotion and military pride, became her perfect target, a chance to flex her authority and silence a perceived threat. The violation notice landed like a mortar shell. Taped over my Purple Heart plaque, while dew still sparkled on the flag, it cited Rule 247C, no permanent structures or political religious displays. Her demands were a gut punch. Dismantle the flagpole. Remove the granite stones. Uproot Clara's roses. Erase the bench where I sat to remember. 48 hours to obliterate 2 years of healing or face $500 daily fines that would bleed my pension dry faster than VA bureaucracy. I could smell the fresh ink on the paper, mingling with the faint trace of her smug perfume as she watched from her floor-to-ceiling windows, savoring my shock like a predator savoring prey. What she didn't know, what she couldn't fathom, was that this was about to ignite a war she'd lose spectacularly. I learned in the Marines, before you engage, gather intel. So, with my heart pounding and hands steady, I started digging into the past, and what I unearthed would make her regret ever crossing my path. 3 days later, I stepped out to raise the flag and froze. Old Glory hung in tatters, not torn by wind, but sliced with box cutters, the wet fabric strips dangling like a personal insult in the morning dew. The betrayal stung sharper than shrapnel. This wasn't about rules anymore. This was personal, a declaration of war. I spent $200 from my disability check on military grows to security cameras because you don't enter combat half prepared. While Cordelia smirked from her kitchen window, thinking I was waving a white flag, stood. I have invoices proving you paid for vandalism. That night, my cameras caught her voice on audio. Her directing contractors from an HOA truck, headlights off, dumping herbicide on my garden. Make that military shrine look like she hissed. Dead wives don't get monuments. The footage was gold, her face lit by street lights, personally overseeing the destruction. My heart burned, but I stayed calm. Veterans talk, and soon I learned this was bigger. 12 veteran families targeted. Mrs. Patterson, a Gold Star mother, had her Blue Star banner fined. The Kims faced penalties for their Korean War grandpa's memorial. Lieutenant Colonel Rodriguez got hassled for his Purple Heart flag. Systematic, coordinated persecution. The trap sprang at the community meeting. Cordelia's PowerPoint slandered us as threats. Mrs. Patterson, you're a widowed Marine veteran. Lieutenant Colonel Rodriguez got hassled for his Purple Heart flag. Systematic, coordinated persecution. Escalation came fast. The trap sprang at the community meeting. Cordelia's PowerPoint slandered us as threats. Rodriguez projected footage of her directing crimes. I took the mic and dressed blues. I own this land, 248 acres, including your house. Chaos. Agent Smith arrested her. Conspiracy, fraud, rights violations, intimidation, terrorism. She lunged, screaming, but handcuffs clicked. Ovation erupted. 6 months later, Willowbrook transformed. Cordelia got 18 years, $2.8 million restitution. Her mansion, veteran housing, the Willowbrook Federal Protection Act, shields memorials nationwide. My garden expanded to Memorial Park, healing 400 vets yearly. I remarried Sarah, my counselor. Our wedding in the park drew vets nationwide. Property values up 22%. Festival draws 12,000. Scholarships funded. Precedent set. Evenings I sit on my bench. Wind chimes playing. Knowing Samuel's foresight won.